Hi, this is Anita here, and I wanted to share with you some of my favorite spices today and what you can do with them. I am a chartered herbalist, and herbs have been my passion for many, many years. But just to be clear, I want to read this disclaimer to you. The information that we provide is not intended to be a substitute for medical treatment. Please consult your medical care provider before using any herbal medicine, particularly if you have a known medical condition or if you are pregnant or nursing. You are responsible for your own health. As with conventional medicine, herbal medicine is vast and complex and must be used responsibly. People react differently to different remedies, and some herbs are contraindicated with certain pharmaceutical drugs. So just make sure that you know what you're doing when you use these herbs, even if they're simple things that you buy from your grocery store. You'd be surprised at how many people have reactions to those things. So be very careful when you're using these remedies. But these are some that I've used myself and have found really effective for what I've used them for. So here we go. And what you're going to learn today, you're going to learn simple remedies for such simple things as acne, cankers, constipation, dandruff, biliousness, and more. Plus, I will give you 2 special bonuses at the end of the presentation, so watch all the way through so you can be sure and get these 2 nifty bonuses at the end. Now, the first one I want to talk about is nutmeg. And nutmeg, you can buy it in a powder, or you can get it with the nuts themselves, and then use a grater to grate it into the powder to be used. And nutmeg is really fantastic. It's antibacterial, antifungal, antioxidant, analgesic, and you can sprinkle some in a little bit of warm milk to help with insomnia and digestion. You can mix some powder with a little honey and dab on your acne, and leave it there for at least 15 minutes or longer to get rid of the infection and to get rid of the acne on your face. And nutmeg increases levels of serotonin, dopamine, and norepinephrine. But be careful to use nutmeg very sparingly, as it's a very, very powerful herb, and if you use too much, it can actually give you a stomach upset. Sesame seeds, or as they called it over in Israel, shum shum. I always like that. But it's very fiber rich. It lubricates the bowels, and eaten daily, it may reduce inflammatory pain. It reduces oxidative stress. Sesame oil, you can mix it with a carrier and use it on your skin as a natural sunscreen. And sesame oil can also lubricate a dry scalp. It contains omega-3 and omega-6. And it may help block DNA damage from chemotherapy and radiation. This is from some recent studies. So sesame is a really great product or herb to add to your diet. And, oops, get rid of that. Okay, and next is black pepper. And black pepper is very surprising. It's an antioxidant that prevents free radical damage. It's anti-inflammatory. It's antibiotic. It reduces amyloid plaque development in the brain if you're worried about Alzheimer's. It improves blood sugar metabolism. It lowers cholesterol. And to use black pepper, you can pour boiling water over 1 teaspoon of black pepper, steep for 10 minutes, add a little honey and drink to quell a cough and to decongest your lungs. And you can add it to turmeric to increase its effectiveness. And one thing that I like to use is golden milk, which is basically turmeric in some milk with a little bit of honey added, and then if you add black pepper to that, it increases its effectiveness. And sage is another really powerful antioxidant. Sage mouthwash kills Streptococcus mutans, which causes tooth decay. So if you use a sage mouthwash, it can kill all the bacteria in your mouth. You don't need alcohol or any nasty chemicals or additives that they have in common mouthwashes to kill the Streptococcus mutans. And plus it tastes pretty good too. And sage tea may ease menopausal symptoms, and it improves insulin sensitivity and lowers blood sugar. So if you're type 2 diabetic, drinking sage tea every day could be beneficial for you. And I've used it as a tea for diarrhea, and I've also used it as a tea with organic honey for cough and canker sores. You can actually crush some sage and mix it with a little bit of honey and put a bunch of that on top of a canker sore, and it'll get rid of it very quickly. And it also is a good tea for gas and biliousness. They've also found that sage may be effective against cancer cells. And rosemary. Rosemary has been used for thousands of years. It is antibacterial, anti-cancer, anti-diabetic, anti-inflammatory, antioxidant, antithrombotic. That means blood clots. Anti-ulcerogenic, improving cognitive deficits, anti-diuretic, and it has hepatoprotective effects, which means it protects your liver. And the other major use of rosemary is in the perfumery industry, where essential oils are employed as natural ingredients of fragrances. It does smell really good. And one of the main things that they use rosemary for naturally is to stimulate hair growth. So shampoo your hair and put on your conditioner, and then take some rosemary tea, make sure it's not too hot, and then pour that over your head, and that helps stimulate hair growth, and it also helps get rid of dandruff, the nasty flakes that you might get, and it could help with psoriasis on your scalp as well. And rosemary oil, you can mix rosemary essential oil with a carrier oil and make a massage oil to help with circulation. So it'd be really great for people with diabetic neuropathy. And fennel. Fennel is something that I've used quite a bit. It helps with heartburn, gas, bloating, loss of appetite, colic in infants, bronchitis and pneumonia, cholera. Not that we have cholera in this country much anymore. Backache, bedwetting, and poor eyesight. That would be like using the tea as an eyedropper. Anyway, fennel tea with chamomile helps colic in infants. It does not need to be very strong at all. You can either crush fennel seeds or use fresh. It's probably better if you use the fresh fennel, the aerial parts of fennel, to make a tea, and mix that with the chamomile to help colic in infants, and it does work. You'll find that they'll quickly burp and then go to sleep. I've used that with all of my kids when they were small. And adding fennel oil to a carrier, if the child can't drink it, if he's too fussy to drink anything, you can rub a lightly, not very strong fennel oil to a carrier, and then rub that on the infant's feet, and the fennel will be absorbed into their skin, and it will give the same effect as if they took it by mouth. Fennel has been used for treating colitis, to help soothe the digestive tract. It's got some properties that help soothe the digestion and the bowel. It's been used for painful menstruation as a tea, also for upset stomach. You can actually rub that fennel oil on your stomach to help with upset stomach and gas and bloating, all that. So, and the next thing in our list here is oregano. That's a great Italian food. It is a natural antibiotic against staph infections, which is very important. Staph is what's usually in boils and MRSA infections, and it's been used against those things. It's an antioxidant. It may help with yeast infections, and it has been proven effective against gut parasites. Oil of oregano is used as a topical pain reliever, and drunk as a tea, it may block the formation of white fat cells. So make oregano tea, remove the leaves and place in a nylon stocking, kind of squeeze the water out of it a little bit so it doesn't drip all over the place. Then place the stocking containing the leaves to a bruise to heal bruises and to prevent further bruising. And that really does work. And last but not least, for this particular thing, is garlic. And there have been whole books written about garlic and its powerful medicinal properties. It's antibiotic, antifungal, lowers cholesterol, lowers blood pressure, kills viruses. It's an immune booster. It improves cognition and a lot more. It's been proven to shorten the duration of colds and flu. So how can you use it as a medicine? Well, you can just crush a garlic clove and mix it with a little honey and take it by the spoonful to eat it fresh. It can also be cut up and folded in bread and butter and eaten, or you can also bake the garlic in a foil and use the garlic paste with some butter, spread it on some bread, and eat it that way. Sometimes fresh garlic can be too strong and upset a person's stomach if they're really sick. So sometimes baking the garlic or cooking it in some way can help take the bite out of it, so it's easier to consume. And you can make a garlic elixir for daily use. German garlic elixir is made this way. You chop 4 heads of garlic, that's about 40 cloves peeled, and about 4 whole lemons with the skin, and you chop it up in a food processor. That's probably the easiest way to do that, if you have one. Add to 2 liters of filtered or distilled water, and bring that to a boil. Then, as soon as it comes to a boil, turn it off and strain and pour into sterilized glass jars. And you can refrigerate that. It'll keep up to 2 weeks in a refrigerator. You can just throw the pulp away, or there might be some other medicinal uses you'd want to use it with, or cook with it. And to use it, you use 1 shot glass daily. That's about 2 ounces. Honey may be added to improve flavor and effectiveness. And here's your bonus. How to quickly peel garlic. If you want to peel 40 cloves of garlic, that could take you a while. But just cut the ends off the garlic cloves, place in a lidded jar. I use a quart mason jar, and no more than half full, but I find that probably about 1/4 of a jar full is about right. And then you just shake the heck out of it until the peels come off. And you may have to pick some peelings off, but it will be much easier after you go through this process. And then another bonus, how to freshen your breath after eating garlic. Well, it's pretty easy. Chew on some fresh parsley or cilantro. Chlorophyll helps with the breath. You know that parsley that they put on your plate in restaurants? There's a reason for it. Parsley freshens your breath. So I hope you've enjoyed this presentation. If you have any other questions or any other herbal things that you would like me to discuss, I am a chartered herbalist. Just let me know what you'd like. I'll leave my email address in the description down below. Go ahead and fire me off an email. Be sure to subscribe to my channel for more great information. And let me know what your thoughts are. And this is Anita signing off, and watch for my next episode tomorrow. Goodbye.